Hello everybody, this is Thannus here, and the reason that my health is so low and the reason I'm in a different part of this room is because I backtracked to Magmore off screen to see if I could find an item. Turns out I already had that item. So anyways, we are back to it now. We're going to be heading towards that purple door that we saw on our map in the last episode after acquiring the wave beam, which I just used to annihilate that Sheegoth right there. So, let's get to it. We're going to jump up and get on top of this room, same way we usually do, using these little ledges on the edge of the wall here. And even though the door that we saw on the map is through the other way, we do kind of have to go through this way, because I don't think we can jump that high. So, we'll head through this way. Get rid of the Bamus in this room. And head on through. I believe the items in this room are still off or inaccessible to us. So we're just passing through here for now. But we will have to come back here at some point in the future. Let's kill these Sheegoths so they stop bugging us and hopefully get some of our energy back. Okay, yeah, we're not doing too hot. Okay. Jump back up this way as well. I hear an item. We cannot access it yet, because we don't have the item necessary to get up here yet. Let's get rid of these bozos. Just for some extra health, if at all possible. There is another item that I hear. We can't access that one yet either. It is right there. Can't get through there just yet. Nothing extreme heat related yet. Keep getting rid of these boxes though, because I really need more health. I think I've already scanned these bozos. One thing that does kind of nerf or negate the wave beam a little bit, it does have a slower rate of fire, and it takes longer for the beams to travel. So, it's a little bit less rapid fire efficient than the power beam. So that is something you have to keep in mind, depending on the combat situation. The only reason I'm fighting these things instead of just moving on is because I'm trying to get more of my health back. Come on. Okay, not a single one of them dropped any health. This guy dropped a missile back here. Cool. Alright, we're back in this room now. We can head up here. And through this door. Got some Bamus in this room again. Get rid of them. And also grab these boxes here. A little bit of energy, but not all that much. Great. Open this door. And we're back in this room. Now we can hear an item somewhere in here. We're going to want to grab that. I'm going to ignore the Sheegoths for now. Before we had the space jump, we could not get up here. But now that we do have it, we can get up here. And we will. Not much of a reason to go through this specific gap here, but if we go over up this way, we can jump up that to access this ledge that we could not get up to before. And we can shoot that icicle. Looky there. New area. And I believe that also gives us access to this ledge here, which I don't believe we could access before. Oh, scan these quick! Ice Shriek Bat. I should have mentioned that before I even came into this room. These effers in pretty much every single version of the game. It is, except I think the European GameCube version for some reason. You cannot scan these guys ever again. This is the first and only time these things ever show up in the game, they are one of the only missable scans in the game that isn't a boss. So you need to scan these guys when you encounter them in this room now. I almost didn't do it, but we managed to get them. But yeah, scan the Ice Shriek Bats, because you will not have another chance to do so. They are a permanently missable scan. I think the ice parasites are as well, although I'm not as certain of that one. There's an item down here we can't get just yet. We'll worry about that at a later time. And I believe that's about it in terms of the items in this room. Get rid of that thing. And jump across here. We can now go into this room. This is not a new enemy for us. These are just scarabs. Wave Beam makes pretty quick work of them. This has kind of a wider spread. Got some bombers as well. And even more scarabs. There we go. Plenty of energy recovered. Alright, this room, there is an item we can get, but we're gonna hold off on that for a second, because there's a few things we can do in here as well. There's a bomb slot there that's inactive. We cannot do anything with it just yet. These platforms are unanchored, and they float at the surface of the water. Very interesting. Still can't do anything with that magnetic rail track. And we got a spinner device there. And a one-way access hatch that we cannot get into just yet. Those enemies there are irrelevant to this whole equation. So, what we will do is we will go into one of these spinners and spin. And those two hatches are going to open. But they're not going to do anything just yet. So now, we need to go over to this spinner and spin in it as well. And that will open 2 more hatches. And now that we've opened both hatches, the bomb slots up top open up. So now, if I can stop falling off the ledges, we can go up to these bomb slots and activate them. You only needed bomb 1, you don't need to bomb both of them. And now that we have done that, jump across here over to this ledge and reach this gap here if we don't fall. Okay, awesome. So yeah, we'll need to activate the water a second time. Just let it go back down first, and then we can get back up there. It can kind of be a little bit of a pain to do this, but you don't have to open the hatches back up again. You just have to get this. Alright, same deal as before. Beeline it across. The amount of time you have to get across is limited. So, take advantage of it. Anyway, oh, no, you effer. Wow, okay, awesome, cool. I just fell off. I was there, too. This is not a hard item to get. I'm just stupid. So, third time's the charm, I guess. Have to watch this every single time, too, by the way. Okay. There we go. Now we got in here. We can grab this. It's an energy tank. That's all it was. Easy enough. There's no reason for that to be difficult in any capacity. I don't actually know what that lower bomb hatch or lower hatch is for. We can't get that item yet, though, so none of our business for now. Now, we do still have to raise the water again because we need it to get up to the top of the room. But this is a little bit less of a pain to handle. All right. So instead of jumping over that platform, we're going to jump up this way, get hit by these stupid things. Thankfully, they didn't knock me off the edge, and come up here. So now there's a few different ways that branch off here. This one right here is blocked off by a missile shield. That one is just a wave door. And this one is off entirely. The door has no power. Nearby power conduit must be energized for it to open. A blast of electrical energy will energize the conduit. The conduit radiates some heat that is invisible in the normal spectrum. This Cordite statue is worn and weathered. And we can't do anything with it just yet. Awesome. So, that narrows it down to 2 paths. I'm going to take this path first. And we got a... Oh, crap. New enemy. This is a shadow pirate. Pirate force is trained and equipped for stealth operations. A select group of space pirates have access to sophisticated cloaking technology. This gear drains high levels of power, however, forcing them to rely solely on melee weapons in battle. Use enhanced detection gear when fighting these units. These guys can be a little bit of a pain to deal with at right now for a multitude of reasons. For example, getting stuck next to a wall and unable to move them out of the way. Let's get rid of that thing. There we go. Empty stasis tank used for biological specimens. I didn't read the rest of that. Auto turret malfunction. Cool. I forgot you can just turn the turrets off too. That is something you can do. Okay. So we have a new enemy to deal with. In here. Hello. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. We got some space pirates to deal with. These guys are our bog standard space pirate foot soldiers. This is the first time we're fighting them the whole game. Sentient aggressor species, well-trained in weapon and melee combat. Space pirates wield galvanic accelerator cannons and forearm-mounted sights in combat. This species seeks to become the dominant force in the galaxy, and their technology may help them realize this goal. Ruthless and amoral, the pirates care little for the cost of their ambition. Only the results matter, and they take these very seriously. So, we gotta handle these guys. Thankfully, they are very much a slouch. You don't have to worry that much about them at all, as long as you're not standing still, literally just taking everything they throw at you. Literally 2 missiles will take a single space pirate out very quickly, as long as you actually hit them with it. See? Very easy. Now, in this room, there's an upper path and this lower area here. If we scan this, force field accessible only through space pirate bioimaging, impossible to breach. Can't do much with that right now. There is a small door at the side here, which is a map room, not a safe room. Project Titan specimen is immobilized in quarantine cave. Relocation is recommended due to increased violent activity. Phazon ore is extremely durable and blast resistant. Although the armor-like qualities of the shell provide ample protection, thermal imaging can be used to detect weak areas in the casing. Improvements must be made to the shell in the event that these weaknesses are found by aggressors. Phazon ore appears to bind through Phazon energy. Thermal imaging is required to detect the highest concentration of radioactivity, which serves to bind the stones together. Imaging research is being conducted in the containment vault area of the facility. And then last but not least, East Quarantine Cave is restricted to blue level security. Authorized personnel permitted entry only after bioscan. And finally, we have a map station. So now we can see all of the areas we haven't gone to in the Phendrana Drifts. The other door that we had access to gives us access to this room. And looking at everything, maybe it's worth going through there now. Oh wait, no, that is the door that we can't access, I think. Hold on, I'm going to go back and double check. I don't remember which way it is we can actually go. Back open. So yeah, let's go back through this wave door here. And make our way back to that little central room. Also, I think I can scan these. No, I cannot, apparently. Okay, yeah. Can't get through that door yet. That's the one with the big dome. We can get across here. Open that up and go on through. It's a save room. We have some data. Schematics for Glacier 1 Secure Zone access. Personnel bound for research area proceed directly to checkpoint. Schematics for Research Lab Hydra accessed. To access Research Lab Hydra, proceed through the wave doors to the south. Okay. I think we already did that, kind of. Let's save. Alright, and now that we've saved, let's head back into the lab. Jump right across here, and over this way again. There is a turret up there. Not really a threat to us from this height, but we'll kill it anyway. Before it does become a threat, I suppose. And now we can head up this way. There's a wave door up top here that we can go through. Okay, yeah, that's just the force field controls. Got some more Bamus in here if I don't get stuck on the door. And our health is once again full. I think that was from the save station, but nonetheless, great. Alright, we're in this room now. That doesn't have any data. We scan this. This force field blocks an entrance. Something nearby must be able to deactivate it. I wonder what? Anyways, let's see what scans we can get before we go in. None of them, apparently. Okay, scan it. Access to Research Lab Hydra granted. Hello, idiots. It's me. These space pirates can be taken out very quickly. They are not a problem in the slightest. There are a few more up top, but they're not going to actively come down to hunt you down, so you can take your time scanning crap. Stasis tank operational, but currently empty. Specimen 102, increased volatility recorded. Predator awareness indicated even in cold stasis. This is a logbook scan. Space pirate encrypted data decoded. Log 10515.8. Our initial test exposing Talon 4 indigenous parasites to Phazon appear to be successful. Increases in strength, size, and aggressiveness are common in all test subjects, as well as unforeseen evolutions like additional poison sacs within the abdomen and the appearance of a second ring of mandibles in several subjects. These creatures were chosen because of their resilience, and it appears possible that, given enough exposure to Phazon, they may one day be able to survive on any planet we transport them to. Our methods will have to be refined. We currently have a 100% extinction rate after the 4th infusion period, and most survivors of the 3rd infusion stage are so violent and uncontrollable that they have to be euthanized. Even still, we remain hopeful that further experimentation will result in success. Did not mean to scan that one. Specimen 043, decreased vital signs. Cold damping appears stable. Phazon fluid bath levels at 70%. Checking diagnostics per procedure 12.003.8. Okay, there's a few scannables here. That's not good. Ice beetle infestation in Ice Vault region has been 95% exterminated. Report any sightings to security immediately. That is not what that picture corresponds to in the slightest. Access to research lab Aether limited to Team Solera only. Not sure what part of the eye has to do with that. Stasis tanks operating at 40% capacity. Temperature regulation errors have been rectified as of 12.112.4. Right, there's a lot of scanning in this room, sorry. Gonna be talking a lot. Increased acidity levels recorded in Phazon amniotic bath. This is likely a side effect of Phazon ingestion by test subjects. Alright, then we got even more logbook entries on the other side there. Empty tank. Specimen 029, life signs normal. Pulse at 140%, mass increase of 4%. Specimen 02, euthanized 1291-4 after psychotic episode, scheduled for removal. And another empty tank. We got some logbook entries here. A lot of them. Space Pirate log 10-344-8. We have codified the newfound energy source as Phazon, a V-index mutagen of which we have very little reliable data. Indications point to a meteor of unknown origin expelling Phazon into the environment. This material appears to possess the power to mutate organic life forms sufficiently to withstand its poison. These mutations appear promising, with abrupt evolutionary leaps appearing in single-generation reproduction. Plans to establish a full science team on Talon 4 are being finalized. Another pirate data entry, there's a lot of these. Log 10-581-7. Mining operation, that's a 7, not a 1. Mining operations have begun near the crater where Phazon appears to be most concentrated. Daily Phazon yields have increased 44%, and our mining system becomes more streamlined as personnel and equipment flows increase. Several incidents of Phazon-induced madness have been reported, prompting augmented life support regulations in the deeper chambers. Symptoms include loss of equilibrium, erratic respiration, muscle spasms, and in the most extreme cases, hallucinations. A timeline reassessment for the refinery operation is recommended, as the material proves more unstable than initial analysis indicated. Xenome SA is undergoing relocation to Lab Hydra. Subjects transfer ordered after a pronounced increase in aberrant behavior. Security clearance ADR-13. Phazon infusion within central energy core of Xenome SA is at 70% saturation. Increased dosage appears viable. And then last but not least, a new pirate data entry. Log 10712.1. The most terraforming and retrofitting of security checkpoints on Talon 4 is complete, but we continue to research the alarming epidemic of breaches by local creatures. Door records show no unauthorized entries, so we must presume the creatures are either slipping in undetected during daily personnel moves, or else finding their way in through subterranean tunnels. We have found many small breaches of this latter sort and plugged them wherever we can, but it is unlikely that we will ever achieve full extermination within our current timetable. Alright, that was a lot of reading there. Sorry about all that. Let's activate this elevator and go on up. Because there are more space pirates up here somewhere. Like right there. I don't have to scan them a second time. I don't know why I did that. There we go. That's not a scan there. Oh, hello. You as well. But yeah, this is the point in the game. Oh, I fell off. This is the point in the game where the space pirates start to be an actual consistent threat to you. So be prepared to see them quite often. And I mean quite often. There should be at least one more of them in here. Ah! A turret is in here at least. Got a few scannables here as well. Mutation strain 776-V shows massive absorption capacity influx. Strain replication is now underway. Phazon Batch 1734.B shows mandible mutation across all subjects. Cross infusion with Batch 622-G recommended. Xenome behavioral patterns show decreased reflex activity at temperatures below freezing. There's another space pirate here that we're going to kill real quick because he's being annoying. And that was the last one. Transfer of specimen 344 to Lab Hydra complete. Further infusion suspended pending security assessment. Prep work on all empty stasis tanks must be completed before specimen batch Y arrives on 12312.2. There is an item somewhere in here. Specimen 070 optimal absorption mutation has led to unexpected degeneration of internal organs. Cordite casing column appears weak. We cannot break cordite just yet, so we'll have to come back here at another time. Let's see. Warning, do not handle sedated xenomes without proper ice containment equipment. And then there's another space pirate log right there. Strain 776-V has been successfully replicated. There is more to that one. Viral pathogens found in several xenomes have been traced to Phazon Batch 1664.Z. Terminate all subjects. We have named it Strain Vertigo, mutation of beta xenomes proceeding. Daily decontamination is now required for all personnel working in Lab Aether. Tissue samples from stasis tanks must be hand-carried to Lab Hydra for analysis. Notify security of all material moves. And then last but not least, another pirate data entry. Log 10664.2, Research Outpost Glacier 1 in the Fendrana Drifts region of Talon 4's mountains is operating at 85% capacity. Sub-zero temperatures have made the Metroid sluggish and easy to control, even those well into Phazon infusion cycles. Cold containment stasis tanks are sufficient for the juveniles, but some of the larger Metroids have been moved to quarantine caves for safety purposes. Security doors remain an issue, as malfunctions due to ice occur every day. Large predators in the waste are also a concern as they continue to kill personnel and breach secure areas. Unfortunately, it has become clear that our containment teams cannot neutralize all of them without a vast increase in munitions and soldiers. You know, for intergalactic thieves and murderers and pillagers, the space pirates are quite the eloquent bunch. They are also very, very verbose. Tiresomely so. Have I scanned the red ones yet? Yes, I have. Alright. Up this way we go. There's a turret there. Get some extra health back from these. Get rid of all 3 turrets in this room. And head in here now. Even more space pirates to deal with. Your favorite guys. Thankfully, as usual, they are very much a pushover. There are more in here, though, so it's not just those 3. Ah! Easy enough. Alright, now there's a few scannables in here, for example. Inactive device, another inactive device, another inactive device. Oh boy, I love inactive devices. Lower node of astronomical holographic projector, currently deactivated. There's a scannable here. Upper node of astronomical holographic projector is retracted and inactive. That's the same information I just scanned on the other object. Very cool game. This device has been previously used. It has shut itself off. I don't know who else can use a morph ball slot other than Samus. Break? Thank you. More pirate data. Log 10401.7, Phazon mining is underway. Several garrisons have been established and terraforming the Chozo ruins is underway. Security systems are operational and science team continues to make progress in their biotech research. The Fendrana drifts have proven to be an optimal location for research headquarters, and soon it will be joined by a fully operational combat base and starport. If Command's predictions are half true, we shall rise to the dominance in this sector within a decacycle. Truly, these are glorious times. Holographic map coordinate data has been updated successfully. Let's wait to activate that. Holographic spatial schematic is in lockdown per Security Directive 2.23.445. And one more pirate data entry. Log 10.2.2. Scans of the spiral sector detected a massive energy spike emanating from water-class planet identified as Talon 4. Scout reconnaissance was immediately dispatched to the center of the spike, a landmass at heading mark 40.8.2, returning with planetary samples and atmospheric imaging. Analysis shows the energy source to be an unstable radioactive material of enormous potential. We are unable to form an accurate risk assessment at this time, but we are unlikely to find an energy source this powerful again. Analysis will continue, but currently Talon 4 appears to be a viable secondary headquarters. So they discovered Phazon sometime before the game started, it appears. You can jump up here. There's another scannable right here. Holographic projector. Okay. That's the same info, just except it's telling us to use spinners this time. And we can't get up there. So, let's go down here. And then these aren't scannable here. So, let's scan this finally. Holographic sequence is initialized. Alright. Go over to the morph ball slot. And activate it. Now, go over to the second morph ball slot and likewise activate it. Yes. And now we're starting to get this thing operational, just gotta use the spinners now. Still can't get up the rest of the way. No big deal. Not scanning those doesn't do anything, so we'll just scan this again. Lower node of astronomical holographic projector functioning normally. Go into the spinners, if I can... Yeah, there we go. And we have to activate all 4 of them. If I can actually get into the slot. There we go. Alright, last one. It's kind of like those models of solar systems you see in school. And there's an item up there we can get now. Interesting. But there's also more scannables before we even go do that. This is planet Talon 4, the one we're on now. Mass 5.1 trillion teratons. Profile ecosystem studies indicate that Talon 4 was a biological paradise prior to the impact of an extraterrestrial object. What remains of the biosphere is slowly fading due to exposure to Phazon radiation. At current rate of decay, Talon 4 will be a barren class 13? No. 10 is X, so XI is 11, XII is 12. So yeah, 13. Wasteland in approximately 25 years. I was right the first time. This planet is another one that'll be familiar to us. Planet Zebes is in the same solar system as Talon 4. Not 44, just 4. Mass 4.8 trillion teratons. Profile, planet's crust is primarily earthic ore, making it ideal for subterranean construction. Class XIX. I don't know what XIX is, sorry. Planet, Zebes is inhospitable to most bioforms. The world was considered unremarkable until it became a base for space pirate forces. There's a few other scannable planetoids here. Planet Twin Tabula, mass 4.1 trillion teratons. Planet is best known for twin fever, a disease caused by a viral strain native to Twin Tabula. In the early stages of the disease, victims suffered from double vision. When the twin sight fades, the victim is near death. So kind of like rabies, but a little bit worse. Planet Urmine 2, 2.3 trillion teratons. Profile, an uninhabitable wasteland savaged by nuclear dust storms and constant seismic upheavals. I like hearing about these extra planets that we never even see. Planet Billium, 3.8 trillion teratons. Profile, Quarantine. Atmosphere is rife with Mineralis, a sentient, gaseous, global exterminator virus. Sentient? Ugh. I believe that's all of them. So now, we can just head up. Yeah, I really like it when they do stuff like that in games where they just pad out the lore with extra locations that you ostensibly can't even visit yet, or if ever. Zebes we've obviously been to before, and Talon 4 is where we are now, but it's still cool. If we go in here, this should be a save room. Very nice. All holo technicians report to main observatory. Maintenance required on both holo modules. Chief Astrogation Officer feels our current dual hull projector system is obsolete. Please review and advise. Save real quick. And walk back out, because there's still an item we can grab. This is the super missile. Gonna open a lot of things up for us. Alright, now that we've acquired the super missile, if we hold ZR to charge, then fire a missile, we'll fire a super missile. Man, we've unlocked new extras in the main menu. Very cool. Before we mess with the super missile, though, we're going to save one more time, and that's where I will call it for today's episode. So, appreciate you guys watching. In the next episode, we're going to be heading through the remainder of this lab to see what we can find and hopefully utilize our brand new super missiles. See you guys then. Bye-bye.